A scoop of mint chip for Dad, coffee almond fudge for my mom, 2 scoops of vanilla for my sister, and for this visit, candy carnival. When I was 3 years old, I would never order the same flavor of ice cream twice. I mean, why always get the same thing when there's pistachio almond, strawberry cheesecake, or just something new to try? The man who ran our local ice cream shop said he had never seen a kid who tried something new every single time. To me, this seemed normal, but I guess most kids are expected to stick to their known flavors. But I liked not being locked into what I had done before or what was expected of me. And not every flavor was great, but at least I tried. Too often we get stuck doing the same things over and over again. This is about more than what dessert you order. It's about all kinds of things we face as kids, teens, and young adults. It can be hard to break away from what everyone wants us to do. I believe that at our age, we are still trying to figure out who we are and to find our place in the world. But the media, society, our friends, our teachers, and our parents try to tell us who we should be and what we should do. And some might say that to go against these influences, you have to be brave, and when most people think of bravery, they think of things like jumping off of cliffs. But bravery doesn't have to be about taking these big risks. It can be about taking the small ones. In 5th grade, I was faced with a choice. I could move on from my local elementary school to my neighborhood middle school with all my friends, or I could apply to a unique magnet school called Ann Richards. Ann Richards is a middle school and a high school where they wear uniforms, have longer school days, and it's all girls. There were a lot of reasons why I thought I shouldn't go. I thought I'd be giving up my individuality, Friday night football games. My chances of meeting boys went way down. And plus, I would have to make all new friends, which is enough of a challenge already. To accept my offer to attend the Ann Richards School would mean leaving behind everybody I had known since kindergarten. But it also meant opening myself up to a unique educational environment. The Ann Richards School for Young Women Leaders has rigorous academics and high expectations for every student. 100% of our graduates have gone on to four-year colleges. 65% of those are the first people in their families to go to college. We've also earned millions of dollars in merit-based scholarships. At the time, my sister was attending a different magnet high school, and I had seen all the advantages that this had brought her, so I decided to go for it. And in my first year, I was invited by some teachers to talk with some potential donors who were thinking about funding our school's makerspace. Not many 6th graders get asked to participate in fundraising conversations. And this was just one of the amazing opportunities I've gotten because I decided to go my own way and not follow the crowd. And in the end, this was quite possibly the best decision I have ever made. If you Google the term successful teens, you will find hundreds of stories of young scientists, entrepreneurs, media moguls, philanthropists, and fashion designers who are making headlines for their giant discoveries and contributions to the world. But we don't all have to be making headlines to make a difference. I am not an expert. I'm just a girl who's trying to find her place in the world, while at the same time trying to get my driver's license. For the past 6 months, I've been following the YouTube video diaries of the journey of Jessica Mills, also known as Dixie. Dixie is a 30-something-year-old woman who walked away from a successful career as an engineer in Denver, Colorado to hike the Appalachian Trail. In case you don't know about the Appalachian Trail, it is a 2,180-mile hike that takes an average of 6 months to complete. You live in a tent and walk about 20 miles a day, every day, carrying all of your possessions on your back. It is extremely long, hard, lonely, and most people who attempt it never complete the journey. On October 19th, 2015, Dixie arrived in Maine at the end of the trail. This is not something most people would expect from a young woman with a good job and a busy life to go and do. Plus, most people who do this hike are men, and she decided to do it alone. But she didn't let any of that stop her from achieving her dream. Oh, and she didn't stop there. This year, on October 12th, she completed the 2,650-mile Pacific Crest Trail, and next year she plans on hiking the 3,100-mile Continental Divide Trail, thus completing the Hiker Triple Crown. I love the idea of undertaking a journey like this, and I plan on hiking the Appalachian Trail after I finish college. As I've talked about this with my parents, they have cautioned me about the many obstacles I will face while undertaking this journey. They remind me it's long, hard, and cold, and that there are sometimes days where hikers are low on food, and that it could be a while before they get to the next town. Well, it's not that they're not supportive of my dreams, it's just parents worry about things like a young woman hiking through the woods across 14 states. But this is something I hope to do with my life, and I accept that there are hardships that come along with accomplishing great things. Oh, and as for my parents' concerns, well, this is still 6 or 7 years away, and I'll be an adult, so I won't need their permission. My own thoughts about how to go your own way come from looking at the long view rather than the short term. We often hear teachers and parents say, oh, what others think doesn't matter. And that's easier said than done, and plus, we're teenagers, it kind of matters to us. And it can be so easy to just follow the crowd if your focus is only on today. But if you look at the long-term view, it becomes much easier to disregard what other people think and to make choices for you, and only you. As a teenager, I spend a lot of time watching YouTube. Come on, you do it too. And many of the YouTubers we enjoy did not set out to become famous or to get millions of views. They just tried new things and talked about ideas that interested them. And if you read the bios of many of these YouTube celebrities, many of them went to prestigious colleges and studied serious subjects like economics or marketing strategies. They just made their videos for fun and talked about ideas that interested them, not society as a whole. It was their personal passion and style that created their following. Tyler Oakley is a great example of this, and he got started making videos on YouTube as a way to communicate with his friends from high school who are at different colleges. Now, he is an internationally known personality and activist who has appeared on many TV shows, including The Ellen Show. So how can we find ourselves? Well, I'm not sure I know all the answers, or any of them, but for me, it's all about think, talk, do. I spend a lot of time thinking about my future and things that interest me. And then I talk about it. A lot. Ask my friends, my teachers, my sister, or my parents. I can talk. A lot. But talking with others about things that interest me helps me figure out if I'm really interested in a subject or if it's just a passing thought. And then I do something. While I'm not ready to take on that 6-month hike just yet, I've gotten my parents to take me on smaller hikes at home in Texas and to the Grand Canyon, which has helped me discover that I love being in nature. So what interests you? What does going your own way look like to you? Think about it, talk about it, and then take small actions to see if you really like it. And, maybe even break some rules. Well, I'm not telling you to become a rebel. You still have to make good choices, but before we can find ourselves, we must look for what it is that truly inspires us. And along the way, you might stumble. Sir Richard Branson once said, as a baby, we don't learn to walk by following rules. We learn to walk by doing and falling over. So it's okay to make mistakes. We're teenagers. We don't have all the answers, and we are not going to do everything right. But before we can reach our potential, we must look for who we are and to find our place in the world. Remember the poet Robert Frost's words, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And start small. If you're not ready to order a double scoop of something, at least ask for a taster spoon. Use this time in your life to find your place in the world and to figure out who you are and what interests you. And remember, before we can go our own way, we must find our way. Thank you.